of making your money work for you by expanding your knowledge. So I would love this class, or rather this very quick session, to be interactive. Very keyword interactive, because that way I'm sure that I'm carrying everybody along, and then you also pick out one or two things, because at the end of the day, what my goal typically is that, I get to pick out the actionable step I can apply to my life. So I might speak for 30, 1 hour, but at the end of the day, I just want you to look out for that thing that's for you, for that action you can take. Because if you can't take any action from the call, from this session, it's as good as you could have as well just spent your evening doing something else, and I don't want that to be the case. So yes, thank you all so much for being here today, and thank you to the host for inviting me to speak to you about your finances. So let's head straight into what I have for today. I'm going to be asking questions. Please use your chat box, so I know I'm not alone and I'm carrying you along. And that way, if I see that I'm not carrying you along, I can actually slow down so that as many people as possible get to get something out of the session, right? So I want to ask, how many of us, this is not my usual first question, how many of us here in our endeavor doing entrepreneurship, how many of us eventually went to the school of getting better with your money, or the school of finance? I have to just use the chat, but I know kind of thing. Okay, so my internet just went off. I don't know why, because no one called me. Okay, so I don't know what you heard last. Please, can you?
I heard the question that how many of us went to the School of Finance?
Yes, that was the question. So let me check the chat box. Okay, someone asked for recording.
So please drop in the question if you went to the school. Yes, I'm recording.
A School of Finance, personal finance,
so if you,
that kind of thing. Did anybody hear? Oh, sorry.
So if you went to the School of Finance,
anybody? Somebody?
I don't think they did. Nobody went.
The only school I went is the school of making money.
Sorry, I think the network is bad on the end of our speaker. So she will join us any moment soon. How many of you notice also that the MTN network has been bad for some time now? So please be patient. She will join us any moment soon.
So I'm back again. Please pardon me. I typically test my network. I tested the network. I'm in a different location from where I typically do videos. So I don't know why it's now fluctuating. This is the third network I'm switching to. So let's hope that this one is going to work, because there's only 3 SIM cards I have. Let's hope that this one is going to work.
It's very low.
Confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm going straight into what we have for today. The first question I asked is, how many of us here went to a school where they talked about finance, like personal finance? I think the only response I saw before I got logged off was no. And how many of us here, when we were in secondary school, when we were done with university, when we were doing our 9 to 5, when we were, yeah, let's end at the 9 to 5, when we started working, how many of us here actually got to learn more about personal finance? Like a direct education, not the one that you learn from your experience, so because everybody eventually learns from their experience. Well, how many of us, did anybody here get a direct education? Please, can you use the chat box? Let me go back. I think this internet is better, thank God. Okay, so I'm checking the chat now. Yeah, please use your chat box, because I cannot be unmuting all your mics, but I want us to have a conversation. Okay, so there's a no already in the chat box. Typically, when I ask questions like this or similar questions like this, what I get is, no, I did not get a direct education. Even me myself that is talking to you now as your personal finance girl, I never got a direct education. The script I was given, or the script my mom read to me over and over again, was go to school, get the best grades. When you get the best grades, you get the best job. When you get the best job, everybody will be happy. But now, one thing I've noticed, or one thing I noticed from my own experience too, that was faulty about that line, or that education that I got, was that nobody talks about what happens after you make money. What do you do? How do you ensure that the money does not lose? How do you ensure that the money becomes more and more? How do you ensure that you are growing financially and you're living your best life? Not a lot of us, actually. There might be someone here that must have even gotten something direct or indirect, but not a lot of us eventually get this education. And then it sort of slows us down, in the sense that we eventually learn from our mistakes, we learn from our experience. And if you can actually move further, or if you can actually not learn from your mistake, why do you want to learn from your mistake? Nobody would want to see that there's a straight road, pass that road and get to your destination, and they'll say, no, it's zigzag, I want to go through the valley, I want to come through the mountain. Nobody would do that, right? So that is why I started your personal finance girl. That is why I started talking about personal finance education right from 2017 up until now. But I actually just came on social media in 2021. That's the only reason why I started this passion, this drive to help people get better with money. So before I go directly into what we'll be talking about today, how to make your money work for you, I'd like to tell you a bit of my story that you may find useful or find relatable, because this is very important to set the tone. So fine, I started business in primary 4. My very first business was in primary 4. I was selling lollipop at a mark. So what happened was, I noticed that at school, lollipop was more expensive. At home, it was cheaper, and I had like a bit of allowance, I think one very tiny amount of money. So what I did was, I'd buy at home and bring to school, and I'll sell off. And I always say, God bless my teacher, because she actually encouraged me. Like, this girl, you're not thinking like everybody else. This is nice. She bought half of my stock on the first day. She wanted to get for her nieces and all of that. So let's not deviate though. But because of that, it means that I was already smart or sharp. Let's not say smart, because I won't use the word smart. I was already sharp enough to know that, oh, there's something called making money, which was also the same narrative I'd already learned from my mom, which is, I want you to get good grades so that you can get, at the end of the day, after university, you get a good job, and everybody will be happy. You have money, right? But that was not just it. After doing a few service-based, product-based businesses, as I was growing and I was done with school, I had like the best grade. I think I also admitted today that I was the best graduating student in my class. The best, in fact, not only in my class, in my faculty, like the whole school of this thing. That was how I came out. But you know that I came out to the workforce and I was looking for a job. So that was when it clicked in my head that, oh, this narrative is not complete. Because first off, I did not expect getting a job to be that difficult and frustrating and all of that. So it now moved to, okay, now it's not as easy to get the particular job you want. What next? So I started trying out other things, entrepreneurship, work, and all of that, just to like ensure that I was busy. And at this point, money had value now. I was earning money. I was not taking care of anybody. I was saving almost all of my money. So that now moved to the next step, which was where I made a mistake of investing all of my life savings, all my money, everything. I took it and I invested it. And you know how this story ends. Someone should tell me how this story ends, please. I want to read how this particular story ends.
Heartbreaking.
I need more because
Please
you need
unmute
to
your
know.
mic and let's contribute.
Please, can someone tell me how that story typically ends? When you carry all of your savings and go and invest.
Someone drop Ponzi scheme.
That one said, okay, Ponzi scheme always ends in tears, yeah. So, like, I need more words. Please, let's participate before I start before I start talking.
Okay. Let me. Oh yeah, now let's talk now. Mrs. Amaka. Losing it. Someone dropped in chat about losing it.
Losing it, and that was exactly what happened because I lost the money. Then it occurred to me that it wasn't about making
Someone
money.
wrote Otilo. Disappointed.
See, it wasn't about making money. It wasn't about. First of all, we already talked about this. We established that school part. So it wasn't just about making money. It wasn't about saving the money. It was now being able to ensure that whatever you keep at the end of the day, whatever you save, you're able to hold on to it and make better use of it. And in all honesty, that was where my quest for personal finance knowledge came from, because I'd hit the jackpot on saving. I'd hit the jackpot on income. It was now investing, and I'm like, okay, this is not a nice experience. I know a lot of people have been feeling it. A lot of people have gone through it. I know that a couple of us here, how many of us can remember that 2008 economic crisis? Does anybody here remember it? It was really bad that year. A lot of people lost their money. The stock market went down. I don't know if anybody can remember. Okay, yes, someone is here that can remember. So you can imagine how it would have felt just to come, toil, work, do everything you're meant to do. At the end of the day, the money goes away. Just like that. Fine, there are some of these things that are unavoidable, like that 2018, definitely it was unavoidable. It could have happened to anybody. In fact, it happened to a lot of people because the stock market was booming then, everybody was pumping in money, and then the world economic crisis came and swiped everything away. Right? But then there are some people still in all of these things that have happened, still in everything that went on, that yes, people committed suicide actually, because it was a lot. Funny thing is, I was asking somebody today about it, and he said as at 2008 he lost 2 million naira. It's not that now that money does not have value. Think about 2 million naira 5 years ago. They now moved back to 2008. That was a lot of money. A lot. So now let's now walk through how exactly we can get better. I know that everybody here is an entrepreneur. Everybody here has that hustle spirit, has that drive to want to do better. In fact, the entrepreneurship self is not for the faint-hearted, because it's not funny at all. Let's not even talk about the current economic situations that is happening. Let's not talk about that one now. On a norm, entrepreneurship is not, because you're it just, for many people that has even grown their business to have staff. Just imagine you're doing staff. You are everything from sales, CEO, marketer, packager, everything. Then if you now have staff, you have people that are depending on you for their livelihood. Like it is just a lot, right? It's a lot to grasp at once. So you don't now want to continue toiling, putting in the work, doing all of these things, only for you to then now lose this money, only for you to then now be unable to grow this money or protect this money. I don't think there's anything worse. There's any type of heartache that is worse than this. I know that even if today now you misplace 1,000 naira, you'll be looking for it. That, where did I keep it? Where did it fall to? Not to now talk of thousands, even if it's 10,000, even if it's 100,000, then you're not able to account for it, right? So you need to put most of all of these things in place. You need to be able to know, oh, what am I going to do? So let us talk about what you're supposed to do. I know that as we're entrepreneurs, we may not be earning steady income. Why would I say I know that? I currently run your personal finance girl. I have my 9 to 5, please, because I don't like palpitations. I don't like anything that will give me heart attack. But currently, I know that the income I make from your personal finance girl is not always the same. One month could be the best month in the whole wide world. The next month, I'm wondering, is it that Instagram has shadow banned me? Is that everybody has blocked me on WhatsApp? Is that nobody is seeing me? Nobody has even invited me to speak. Nothing. So I totally understand what it is like, or what your income is like as an entrepreneur. Because funny thing is, I also work with entrepreneur freelancers who do not have a steady source of income. And because I also have like hands-on experience, I know that income may not always be the same. We're not even talking about, I'm not going to go to the sales part or the revenue part for now. Let's just cross the bridge and come to the income part, where you know what amount of money is going to come to you at the end of the day, right? So because of this, you need to be proactive. As an entrepreneur, you need to be very proactive, in the sense that you need to have a very good understanding of what your expenses are. And I mean your personal expense, because I'm not doing a business talk here. I'm talking about personal. You need to know what your personal expenses are. If not, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to be able to navigate your personal finance. Affects you. Let me be sure. Please confirm that you can hear.
Yes, we can hear you, but the network is breaking just a little bit now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, it's back now. It's back now. It's back. Oh no, stop hearing now.
Your personal finance directly and indirectly affects you. This has gone off. Okay, so I'm back. Yes, my network is actually bad. So this one that was working went off. So I'm going back to the very first network I was using in It allows us to finish our conversation. All right, so can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. Notice I went off again. So I was trying to establish the fact that your personal finance directly and indirectly affects you, and even affects your business at the end of the day. Because if you are someone who is extravagant in spending, what then happens is that there's every possibility that you might be dipping into your business money. And let's say, fine, you're frugal, you're prudent with your finances. There's every possibility that when things are not going very well, or when you're out of cash, you might be unnecessarily sad, meaning that your ability to then make decisions would be on what's the word? I don't want to use strong words, but either way, you will not be able to function the way you should be functioning. And this is obviously still going to affect you. It's still going to affect your finances. It's still going to affect your business. It's also going to affect your relation, the way you relate with people all around, right? So this is one of the reasons why it is important for you to have a full grasp of your personal finance, for you to have a good understanding of your personal finance. And then how exactly do you have a good understanding or a good grasp of your personal finance? By being able to know things that trigger you, by being able to know what your expenses are, by being able to have like an average of what your income eventually is. Because like I said, I'd like to find out many of us have set up structure in our businesses and we have defined income. We have defined income as entrepreneurs. Please let me also be sure that I'm not generalizing. Anybody here, please, I need response. You have defined income from your business.
Anybody?
Somebody? If you don't want to speak, you can use chat box. If you don't want to use chat box, you can actually just speak.
Or mute your mic. Okay. Maybe there's no one.
Okay, so that means that you're saying that you do not have a constant source, a constant amount that you earn from your business. So the question was, how many of us here has put up that structure whereby you have a consistent, a defined amount of income from your business? Anybody? Do you have a defined amount for income from your business?
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Abigail says I don't. Martin said that I'm not. Okay. So this means that every month you most likely will be winging your finances that, oh, business was not so great this month, so I won't take the regular amount I would typically take for my upkeep. Or no, I don't think I should take this amount of money from my business yet. It's not big enough or something like that. So if your business is your only source of income, you need to then know, okay, what is the average amount of money I would typically take as my income at the end of the month? Because before you come, I presume that we're all practicing good business etiquette. You would wait and calculate your profit and your loss before you remove money. I did that here. I want to believe, because I don't think I want to stress on why it is important to have your financials in check. But I hope that we all practice good etiquette in our business, whereby you're waiting to check out what the profit and loss is before you go ahead to share the profits. So once you know what that is, or once you know what the amount is, you could actually look for an average, what the average amount typically is that you earn. When you have this amount, then you can now match it up against your expenses. What are your expenses? Everything that you need to survive, from your feeding to your house rent, to your data, to your transportation, to wherever you want to go to all of your birthday parties or events you have to attend, everything that really makes life worthwhile, that really helps to complete the cycle, right? Those are the things that would appear in your expenses. Those are the things that you want to take note of as your expenses. Now, for you to be able to manage your money better, for you to be able to know that, oh, I want my business, or I want my personal finance, that is your personal finance, to get better, you need to have an understanding of yourself. So am I someone who spends on impulse? Am I someone who would rather wait 1 or 2 days before making a purchase? Am I someone who is easily triggered by my peers? So when a friend says, let us go and do this thing, I know I'm sort of low on cash. I'll be like, okay, I'll collect it from the business, no problem. Or don't worry, my spouse or my friend or someone else is going to cover for me. I'm the kind of person that is easily sidelined, and I just make decisions like that. This is very important for you to know, because at the end of the day, it will either make or break your budget. It will also make and break your strong will to decision making when it comes to your finances. Because I know that it's very easy for us to say, is it not me that is hustling for the money? Is it not me that is making the money? Oh, I will just spend it. After all, I will still also next month to still come. But if you have that mindset of, I want to build wealth, I want to be very wealthy, I want to get to the point where I would have multiple businesses, I would have multiple investments, I have multiple assets that is going to be making me more money, then it means that you have to come to that realization that it is absolutely paramount, completely important, totally important, that you have a great understanding of your person and what your expenses are. And the reason why I'm stressing on the importance of you being able to know what your expenses are, and you being able to understand your person, and then in turn understand your spending habits, is because what you do not know, you cannot mold. What you do not know, you cannot improve. What you do not know is bigger than you. So it will just be that, oh, 2 years ago, I tried making a budget. The budget did not work. Did you try to go back and see why exactly did this budget not work? Oh, 5 years ago, I started managing my money. I started saving. All of a sudden, saving is always going to save me. And at the end of the day, there's nothing. By December, it has finished. Did you go back to check what has been that reoccurring occurrence? What has been that thing that has always been making me not save money, not being able to save? Is it actual emergency? Or is it me that is prioritizing what is not an emergency as an emergency? So you, as a person, you have a very huge role to play when it comes to making your money work for you. Because half the time, don't worry, we will make money. See, making money is the least of your worries, in all honesty, if I'm being totally honest, because there are some people that as they make 100,000, their spending increases to 100,000. No saving, no investing, nothing. As they go to 1 million, their spending also increases to 1 million. No saving, no investing, nothing. And what then happens is, if there is a sad occurrence of a situation that catches this kind of person unawares, they are back to ground zero. Not even ground zero. Some people eventually now run into debt. So by the time you're now trying to build back your income, you're paying off debt. It's just an unending, tedious brain. It's just a tedious cycle. But you know that when you understand yourself, when you know that, oh, this is how I like to save money, this is how I like to spend money, you're able to make more informed decisions. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to come and tell you that the money that you work for, you should not spend it. No. As I'm here like this, the reason I'm making more money is so that I can enjoy life. So just imagine me that's showing you how to get better with your money. It's telling you she wants to enjoy life. I want to enjoy life. So I'm putting all of the structures I need to put in place. I am saving, I'm investing, I am budgeting, so that by the next how many years now, I'll be going and following to Melu and $10 up and down, and all of us will be laughing in private jets. They've done their part, they've paid their dues. You too can get to that stage. You honestly can actually get to that point, right? So now, if you now understand yourself, you now understand that, oh, okay, it seems like I'm an impulsive spender. When you are making your budget, you will put a small category for that thing. I know that I will work on Instagram as I'm passing a that. When you know that, oh, I don't like to spend money, you know that as you're packing your income, all of the bills are being sorted, you're sending it straight to your savings account. You're sending it straight to your investment account, and you're being consistent with it. So half the time, a lot of us just want to move from earning money to investing, earning money to making 1 billion naira in dividend, earning money to just blow, you just live large. And then we now fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation, like I just explained, whereby you're earning 100K, you spend the whole 100K, earning 1 million, you spend the whole 1 million. There's no room for growth, there's no room for saving, there's no room for investing, you're just living, right? So we need to get to that point whereby we now know that, oh, because I'm an impulsive spender, it reflects in my budget. Oh, because I don't like to spend money, or I love to give. At some point in time, let me be honest with you, my problem was not spending money on myself. My problem was giving. Before you call me, even me, I've already planned with my mind of how once 100K enter my account like this, by the time I save the 50K, the remaining 50K, I will use it and do charity. There's not what me as Oluchukwu, your personal care will spend in that money. Like it was a problem. Like it was an actual problem. Mind you, giving is very good. In fact, up until today, the event I went for, I still carry gifts for my host. They did not send me. Nobody sent me a message. So you need to know that, oh, it is this one that is your problem. Let us know how to fix it. So now I know that inside my budget, as I'm writing my needs, as I'm writing my wants, there's also a very large portion I put for my giving, because my body will not be doing me well. It just need to pinch me, do this person, do like this. Nobody asks me. Now that I know that that is my problem, guess what? It reflects in my budget. So I'm not feeling, oh, I used my own personal allowance to do black tax. Who sent you? I'm not going to go and get money from anywhere else. We'll be looking at ourselves throughout the month. We will look at ourselves like that. Don't you know that, oh, it is going out with your friends that is the problem? By the time you go out, I was talking to somebody, I don't know how come I've had plenty of conversations today. I was talking to somebody this morning, and he said, we went out yesterday. I left early. By the time they sent me my own share of the bill was 180K. In one night, just like that. I was amazed, actually. So if that kind of person knows that is his problem, obviously, before the bill will get to 180K, if we run away, probably it is 80,000. Okay, this is my own part. But just imagine, just spending like that, you're wondering where did your money go to. By the time this weekend is over, I don't even want to have a conversation with that person because I can't shout. So once you figure out that, okay, this is the main thing, this is the main problem, then we move to the next stage, which is fixing it. Is it giving? Make a budget for it. Is it going on? Make a budget for it. And stick to the budget. Most importantly, stick to that budget. Is it that you want to build house for everybody in your village? Write a budget and stick to it. Because we already established that your income is not always the same. Or let's say we'll go to the part where it's the same. But you need to have a very good average of what you need to understand what your expenses are. Mind you, it's not every month that there will be birthday. It's not every month that there will be giving. It's not every month that there will be travel or vacation. So you need to put all of these things into place. Probably January now, there was a birthday, there was pumping money into your business, there was traveling. Your budget will definitely be higher because you have envisioned all of these costs. The budget that you use for January is not the same budget you use for February. Because what if February was a very quiet month and the only thing you had to do was focus on your business? You can't use that same budget. It won't work. And obviously, let's say the money you earned in January was less than what you earned in February. So does that now mean that you finish all the money you earned in February? What about March? Won't you plan ahead? Won't you keep the amount? And then there's a part where it is non-negotiable as a business owner not to save money. So now I want to ask another question before I go ahead quickly. How many of us here actually have like savings? We have savings that we kept somewhere that if there's an emergency, if anything happens, it's going to come and save me. Does anybody, like, how many of us here? I'm very sure that a couple of us should have that. But let's try and get the percentage. We have somebody. Okay, beautiful. We have another person. Another person, beautiful. We have money that we know that if anything happens, you're going to use that one as your backup plan. It's going to help you out. But for all of us that do not have, as it is now, you need to start building that. You need to start building that cushion. You need to start building that habit of having what is called an emergency fund. So 3 months to 6 months worth of your expenses should be saved up somewhere. It should be somewhere already waiting for you in case anything happens. Because we would not go and invest without having an emergency fund. What if you need more money? Let's say you want to open a small business as your investment because you have done the math in the next 2-3 years. you would have broken even and you start making money. What if that business begins to require more attention than you envision? What then happens? Do you understand? So you need to have like a cushion that's going to help you, because once you have this emergency fund, it becomes way easier. Why does investing become easier? It means that whenever there would be, let's say you need to pump money into a business, let's say there's a medical emergency, just think of anything that could have happened. You don't need to go to your investment to liquidate it. Right? So, okay, Dr. Abigail says, I do, but it's almost exhausted in recent time. So what you have to do is you need to top it up. It has to have like a cap. If it's 3 months you want to do, fine. Ensure that as it's running down, you're putting it. And mind you, a lot of things are not emergencies. A lot of things are not emergencies. School fee is not an emergency. House rent, store rent is not an emergency. It is a payment you make once in 3 months. That's for school fees. Your house rent is a payment you make once in 12 months, so it can be properly planned for. Your car going bad is an emergency because you did not envision it to go bad. However, if you have been doing maintenance, then you will know, okay, is it going to go bad or not? You see that one that you just have one funny issue, that is an emergency. Right? A medical emergency is an emergency because nobody plans to fall sick, right? But then we are entrepreneurs. We also need to be very, very big on our healthcare. I saw one of my bosses today, and she was complaining that she broke down. She didn't even tell anybody she had broken down, and I was so sad because I used to look at her as a superwoman. She was always up and about. But now, all of a sudden, her body has told her that, Madam, calm down. Someone that never falls sick. So as an entrepreneur, she's also an entrepreneur. We know that we try to push ourselves, but we should also be very, very careful with our health and particular about how our health goes, right? So health obviously is an emergency, but there's some things that you can plan towards. Anything you can plan towards is not an emergency. It is only things that you did not envision: your phone going bad, your laptop falling, the screen breaking. These are things that nobody plans for, or nobody envisions. Will I come and go and kick my laptop just like that? No, don't do that, right? So you need to know, okay, I want to do a 3 month emergency fund, and you know your expenses. I want to do a 6 month emergency fund. When we are done with that, we can now move to investing. And investing is that thing that we all know, because this business you're running, this entrepreneurship you're doing, you are actually investing. You're investing in yourself, investing in your business, you are investing that way. So you need to have a very, very good understanding of what you want to be investing in. That's the very beginning, right? You need to know what you are investing in. But apart from that, you also need to understand yourself, because there are some of us here now, we cannot withstand any sort of stress, any sort of risk. It's going to be really, really stressful for us, right? Anything that will give you hypertension, you cannot stand it. So it is very important for you to know that, oh, this would not work for me, or I cannot stand stress. I don't like anything that will make me go and sit down in front of the news every other day just to find out what is happening. But there are some of us, we lose money, we make money. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I will be okay. You see, that kind of person, you don't want to hear him, and the person that was like, don't worry now, it's not money. We have made money before. We'll make it again. If you go and follow that person, you will enter hot pepper soup, because by the time you're having hypertension, the person will just take one small paracetamol and the person is okay. But you'll be going to the hospital to find out what is happening. Why am I having a headache? Why is my back paining me? Why is my head paining me? Right? So you need to understand what your risk appetite sounds like, what your risk appetite is. So am I ready to lose money? Am I ready to just make a little bit of profit? Am I ready to not lose any money at all? I just want to see the money there. It should be growing. Or no, this money, I'm going to need it in the next couple of weeks. So I do not want to eventually put this money in an asset that is going to tie it down. Or no, this money is for expansion. So whatever I'm going to be investing in is something that I can easily liquidate. Or no, this money is not for me. It's not for, not, I don't mean like, it's not for me, sorry. So this money is not for immediate consumption. I have a 5-year goal, I have a 5-year target. So I want to put this money in a place where I will not be able to touch it for a period of time, because I really just want the money to increase in value and grow. So I don't know if you are following me. Like, you can see that I've just made different examples, different analogies that applies to different people. So if you know that you just want your money to be safe, you want to be seeing it, you don't want anything to happen to it, then your best bet is a high yield savings account, a very low risk set of funds. So it means that any type of fund might work for you, because you want to check, are they low risk? You don't want to lose your money, you just want to see your money doing better than it typically do sitting down in your account, right? So the what applies to you that does not want to lose money is different from what we apply to that person that is thinking about how, oh, I want to get a little bit of more, let's say a bit of interest, but the money wants to go, it should just go down a bit. It's not too much, just small. And yes, these funds are beautiful. You're going to get, some of them give you dividend, right? Oh,
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and do land banking, because at the end of the day, I'm sure, I know that I've done my research, I've checked out these places very well. It has a high potential. Or the government has said they're going to do make a higher institution here. So let me just hold whatever pieces are around. When these people are ready to come and develop, I can sell it off back to them for a good piece. Right? So you can see that I've moved to the second phase. And then now we now go to people that are like anything, what is it? I'm okay. Go through the stress, go through the heartache. I'm fine. Right? So these people, they can actually do whatever they want to do, because they know what they are putting in. They know they are doing it. They've read, they know the risks involved, so they are fine. Right? They are very, very fine. So if you find yourself in any of these categories, you then now know, oh, this is what works for me at this period in time, and this is not what works for me. Right? So I hope that you're following me. I saw that someone responded earlier, but I do hope that you're following me and you're
Yes.
having a better understanding.
Yes. Please, I'll try to drop in chat box or unmute your mic and let her know that we are following. I know you're all following, but our speaker needs to get response to know that we're all following. Okay, some people are giving their thumbs up.
Yeah, I've seen the reaction. So yeah, thank you very much for that. So now let's move to how exactly can I get started making passive income. I think if you go on my page, you're going to see it, so I can as well just see. Last year, when I calculated all of the money that started abroad in savings, I'm not about investing, in savings, I had made up to 500,000 naira was in interest alone. So how exactly do you get started in earning more money? Right? So if you're playing it safe, how you savings account is perfect. You need to apply discipline, you need to apply consistency in topping up that account. Right? But if you're not playing it safe, which is absolutely fine, you'll be looking at other investment vehicles, from commodities to stocks to why don't I ever mention commercial papers, bonds, and all of that. So you need to then know that, okay, this is what I want to do. So how do you know this is what you want to do? You want to start doing research. You want to start asking questions. You want to read more about, oh, everybody's buying Apple stock. Should I buy Apple stock? Everybody's buying Transcorp. Everybody's buying assets. Everybody's buying Dangote. Should I go ahead and buy it? So you need to be able to ask yourself questions. Is it stocks? Is it bonds? What exactly would work for me? Then there's the other part of, there's the value. That I always love to talk about values and morals when it comes to investing, because it is very important to, if we have Muslims here, there are Muslims that if a thing is not halal compliant, they don't have it, they don't even want to touch it. Even if it's food, they're not going to touch it. They don't go ahead to invest in businesses they don't know where the profit is coming from. In fact, they will not even collect your profit. In fact, they will not even put their money. So now, let's say you're someone who frowns against weed. You run against weed. Would you go ahead and invest your money in companies that produce these things, companies that help you to check on them, companies that are tracking only companies that are investing in this sort of things that you do not like, you're not promoting? No, you won't. Your morals also has a very huge role to play here. There's also the part of, you might not even like the management style of a particular business. By the time you do your research, you find out that, oh, this doesn't work for me, so I'm not going to do it. So you need to be able to do research. You need to be able to carry out due diligence. This way, you are able to, eventually, you are able to consistently grow your wealth in the way that works for you. So it means that you need to have an investing strategy that has to do with research, that has to do with tracking, that has to do with consistency and accountability as well, to help you measure and see, am I growing or am I not growing? Does this investment option work for me or does it not work for me? Tickets. So yeah, so this will now direct you on what exactly you should be picking for yourself. There's no one size fits all when it comes to personal finance, especially when it comes to investing, because I know that a lot of you follow people like me, a personal finance creator, and because I say, oh, invest in Apple, you carry yourself and invest in Apple. It doesn't work like that. I might be investing in Apple and it works for me, but it might not work for you because you probably might be in your 50s. You probably might be in your 60s. And you need your money when you are close to retirement. You need your money in the next 2 weeks. And then me that don't have anything to do in my money, that I've left the money for like 20 years. You are following me. So you need to understand what works for you. So there's that part of the risk, that part of the age, there's that part of research, there's that part of ensuring that you also review. Because let's say 2 years ago, this particular investment, probably land banking, maybe your land in Ogun State was okay for you. This year, it might no longer be okay for you because probably you're trying to go to the north and not the, is it west? Yeah, west, and not the west. So you need to review over and over to see that this particular investment, this particular sector, this particular thing I'm putting my money in works for me. So I don't know if you have questions, right? So I don't know if you have questions for me. I would love to take them because I see that I've been talking. Our time is fast spent. So I'd love to take questions now. And let's see.
Okay. Do I have questions, but I want to give room for others first. Do we have questions? Let's just do what to raise up our hands and you'll be given the opportunity to ask a question. Okay, while they are trying to gather their question, my first question is, how do we work around the rapid increase in inflation or devaluation in Naira against the importance of saving? You agree with me that our Naira keeps dropping. In fact, very soon now, maybe we'll start hearing Naira and Naira to dollar is now 2,000 Naira. And yet we need to save. Imagine me keeping money right from last year, January. My 1 million last year, January, is not 1 million Naira now. It's nothing. So what's the balance around saving and now the inflation and devaluation in Naira that is going on?
Okay, so very, very beautiful question. Absolutely beautiful question. So I have questions that, because this is what's happening now. We cannot see it happening. 1 million can buy for you. In fact, what 1 million could buy for you in January, but just in February 17, it's not the same thing. Let's not even go back to last year. So now, I love to tell people that where I am now, it's not where you are. Right now, for you, it might be saving that is the right thing for you to do. Forget inflation. See, I think someone was asking earlier today to that. So now that there's inflation, how do I invest? Have we ever, please, I really need a response to this question. Have we ever come to a time when there was never trouble in the world? Have we
No,
ever got to a time when there was never trouble?
no.
See, let's even go back to from 2019. I don't know what we're complaining about. 2020, we complained about something different. 2021 was something different. This year, it's something different. So when it comes to finances, there's always going to be something that is happening. It's not today the inflation matter started. I can remember far back, I think I was even paying attention during Jonathan's time. People said that things were hard, things were difficult. But when we compare that time and now, that time was almost heaven. It's not far from heaven, actually. So when you talk about saving, evaluate your current position. Is it that I need to start saving money now? If saving is the right thing for me to do, then yes, you should be saving. Forget the inflation. The best thing you can do to sort of fight towards the inflation is that, okay, I'm going to be saving in a high-yield savings account. I've been shouting high-yield savings account because you can't save in your bank. In fact, the interest, let's say you eventually use a savings account for your bank, the interest that you get on your savings account in your bank doesn't come near to what you will get from a high yield savings account. So banks typically give us anything from 4, 5. I don't even think they've even gone up to 5%. I haven't checked the recent rates because I've let them alone, right? So your bank will give you I don't want to use strong words. I'm sorry. Your bank will give you a very tiny amount of money as your interest rate. However, this high yield savings accounts that you can go ahead to look for, fintechs you can save with, will be giving you something around double digits. Most fintechs give you anything from 9, I think the lowest I've ever seen is like 7-8% to 12% as interest on your saving. You are actually fighting against the inflation. If that money remains in your account, it is going to continue losing value. But that 10% is something. It's actually something. And then your money is still going to be safe. And then that saving, do you know why I'm a pro saver? I see, no matter how much I invest money, I am a pro saver because the things that savings have done in my life, I cannot testify. It might sound like investing gives you higher interest, go and invest. But you see that saving that we are underlooking in this country. Okay, saving can help you. You can pack that you're saving, the whole money that you are putting, your high savings account, you have earned 10%, or you have earned 11, or you have earned 9%. You can pack it and invest it. You can pack that saving and it will save you. You can pack that money and you can achieve one particular thing that you've always wanted. But if you're looking at the inflation rate is high, it is high, I will not save. You're changing yourself. Because at the end of the day, you spend the money. Whether you agree with me or not, we both know that you will spend that money. And you might not be able to quantify it or find as much joy and derivative for the derivative of knowing that, oh, this particular amount of money, I kept it for 6 months and this was what I used it to do. So I hope that answers the question. I've talked plenty, but
Yes.
I hope that answers.
Yes, it did. Thank you very much. But please, you said something. The network went bad on my own. Okay.
So just ensure that whatever you are doing is what works for you. For some people now, it's not saving, it's investing. That's fine. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So Mr. Oluchukwu has a question. Please go ahead and ask a question.
Oh, please go ahead.
Mr. Oluchukwu, go ahead and ask your question. Hello, Mr. Oluchukwu, can you still hear us?
Oh.
Okay. Please, you can continue.
Okay, so for me, I'm actually more or less done with the session because I wanted to ask questions so I can know if I was going to be adding or subtracting anything from what I have said. So I don't know if anybody else has a question. It could be related to the things I've said or not, but there's something else I'm going to add, but yeah, I want to find out. where we are.
Okay, so any other question in the house? Let's ask a question.
Hello.
Mr. Yes, we can go ahead,
Okay.
Mr. Winfrey.
Please, thank you for the presentation. Please, I want to find out what is the, I want you to talk about bond, high yield, let's say bond. How do we
Okay.
go about government bond? You understand? Because I've been trying to like go into it and all. I just want to know more information about it. And then
All right. So
how do we put money in it and get uh back our money? That's what I'm been thinking of.
okay. All right, beautiful. Okay. Very beautiful question. So I'll start with talking about what bonds are. Right. So for those of us that don't know what a bond is, so the idea behind investing in bonds is that big corporations, probably the government, needs money. So what they'll do is they'll gather the whole public and tell them that, oh, we want to raise so and so bond. We are going to pay back in so and so time. This is the interest you're going to get. That's actually what bond is. So companies, government borrowing money from you and I. And the benefit is that they get to get money to do whatever they want to do. You and I get to earn interest. Right. So bonds are actually a very beautiful way. I think they're under low and medium risks. I don't even think they're up to medium risks yet. So they're actually low risk, depending. And so the interest rate you're going to be getting on your bond depends on the current economic status, because it fluctuates. It's not like a particular amount for every time a bond order is brought out to the public. So if you want to invest in bonds or you want to get yourself some bonds, what happens is you watch out for the next call, because they typically make announcements from time to time that, oh, there's this particular federal government bond that is out, there's this particular bond that is out, you buy it for this period, you buy it for X amount of period. It could be less than a year or over a year that you want to get, and then this is the interest you should be expecting. So that is how you actually get them. So depending on the brokerage or the financial institution that is making that announcement, then you go ahead to approach them and invest your money, and over time monitor it, and whether you want to withdraw the money before the, I don't know what the penalty typically is if you decide to break out. But the beautiful thing now is almost everybody is now a lot lenient. Before, if you want to remove your money before maturity date, you pay a lot of money actually, or you forfeit something. But now it's a lot more flexible, so you can easily just withdraw or get it out any asha. Because I can remember the time I walked into a bank to ask the bank manager that, oh, if I'm not doing my fixed income again, what will happen? I'm not doing, I want my money. So typically on the form, they will tell you that you can't get the money, but yes, there's always a way around all these things. Well, I'm not supposed to teach you people bad things. Sorry, you cannot collect your money. But either ways, then you decide whether or not you want to stay the whole term, or you want to get your money out before time or at the end. So that's as simple as it can be when it comes to government bonds. It's really easy and straight to the point. Just contact the financial institution that you'd love to work with, and you're good to go.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Please.
Okay, it can be bought at any financial institution, or
Yeah,
is it
so
restricted to a particular
no, it's not restricted. So what
financial?
is it's not restricted actually, because what happens is they make the amount, they make the announcement, and people help to collect. I don't know if you get. So when they make the announcement, people then, oh, you're interested, you can get it through this person. So it could be any of the banks or any other. I'm trying to not mention a particular name, because there are different people that helps to serve these bonds. I don't know if you get. Okay, yeah.
Okay. I get like access I can approach access bank and
Ask them if there's anything
all right.
open. You can go to Fidelity, go to GT, ask them if there's anything available, because they open it from time to time and people buy into it from time to
I
time.
think three. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right.
Any
You can
other
let me know
question?
if you have questions, Charlotte. I'm here to answer. Over to you.
Okay, any other person with question? Okay, while you were answering my question, I just wanted to clarify something. You said something about not saving into the bank, but the network went bad where you were talking about where it only went bad where from my own end, where you made mention of somewhere I should save instead of the bank. And I was going to ask you again. You made mention of somewhere I should rather save instead of the bank.
Oh, so sorry, I didn't know that got cut off. So
I think it was
what
only
I
for
mentioned. Oh, really? Okay, so what I tried mentioning is, instead of saving in your bank, you could go for high yield savings account. So some banks actually offer you a high yield savings account, but they're not lauding it because obviously everybody wants to get more profit, right? But then we have fintechs that allow you to invest with them, save with them rather, and earn higher interest rates. And one of the logical reasons why they are able to give you higher interest rate than your bank is because their method of running is way smaller. So if you look at, I think Piggy is already up to 150 people. But I think Josh was saying today that as at 2020, there's still like 40 people on the team. And they were serving the whole country. Do you know how many branches of UBA, GTB, all of these our big banks are everywhere? They'll buy land, they'll build the building, they'll employ staff. So they are unable to be as generous as fintechs. There are lots of them. Economy, there is Piggy, Carry, there are a lot of them actually. And these people give you higher interest rates than your bank. So if you're like, oh, I want to use my bank, find out from your bank if they offer a high yield savings account. Believe me, some banks, and I won't say most because I've only seen a few of them, they actually have high yield savings accounts, but they don't sell it like that for obvious reasons.
Oh, okay. Thank you for shedding more light as regards that. So any other question? So please, can you tell us more about your community? Yes.
Oh, yes. So how did I almost forget? I was busy talking about how to. Okay. So I run a personal finance community, and basically our community is just home to anything personal finance, any question that you have around personal finance. Is it saving? Is it investing? Is it budgeting? We're growing large because there are over 9,000 of us on Instagram, but on WhatsApp we're still less than 1,000. So it's somewhere you can always come and ask any question that you have, and yes, you get responded. And over time too, we have scheduled activities that we try to follow every single week. So you're learning something new, or you're just participating in conversations and continuing and having a closer bond. So it's still free for now. I've been adding for now because I'm not sure how free it's going to be going forward, but to join the community is free. All you have to do is just click on the link in my bio on Instagram and click join the YPFG community. That's all. It will take you to WhatsApp and then you can join the community. Very simple, straight to the point. So there's saving. There's a section for saving. Yeah, I almost forgot that. There's a section for saving because we're saving throughout the year. The 1 year saving challenge that you can also join. If you come, you shall find your way. There's saving, there's investing. Investing is coming. There's debt repayment. That one is coming. Like just smaller groups where we talk about specific topics, but the general group is for everything and everybody.
Thank you very much. So please do, I'm sure you want to jump on this opportunity. You want to find yourself in the midst of people who are talking the same thing, who are talking about the same goal of being better with their finances. So do well to reach out. If someone is saying yes, so do well to go to our Instagram page, click on the bio, and you can connect with our community. I'm also part of the community. So I'm not just talking about a thing I'm not aware of. So, yeah. So thank you very much, Miss Oluchukwu. Thank you for this wonderful moment. We really appreciate it. Also, House, kindly unmute your mic and let's say a big thank you to our speaker for this wonderful presentation. Okay, someone is saying, what's your Instagram? If you check on Instagram, your personal finance girl, that's our IG handle. Someone is asking what's so. Yes, people are saying thank you in the chat box. So kindly unmute your mic if you can, or drop in the chat box to say thank you to our speaker. Okay, yes. Our Instagram handle again is your personal
Thank
finance.
you.
Okay, she has dropped it.
I think she said she has some other things to talk about.
You said what?
I think she said she has some other things to talk about after the question section.
Oh, she has addressed that, except, or let me not speak for her.
I thought you said you had some additional things to talk about.
Oh yeah, I thought I already finished that. Okay, hold on. Let me try and see. Because I know I remember saying I said I was going to add something. Okay, yeah, I think I have, because the questions have already covered the part of you're not supposed to look at the inflation, whether or not to make decisions. So it's very important that as you find yourself now, as you're exposed to this information, you go ahead to make research. So if you join my community, as much as I will tell you, oh, save here, invest here, I still ring it in your ear that go ahead and read more. It's very beautiful for me to say, this is the only thing you should do, this is the right thing. But what then happens is I'm training you to be dependent on me. And I'm not that kind of person. At the end of the day, if you go out, you read, you're not clear, then you can come back and meet me and say, oh, this is confusing, this is this, this is that. Perfect. But not that you're now thinking that every single thing you have to be told, like you have to go out and research more, you have to read more, and you also have to take action. So while we've spoken about investing, how to ensure that you're saving, you're tracking your expenses, there's also that part where you also have to implement. Because what then happens is it becomes like every other event that you have heard. It becomes like any other person you're following on Instagram if you're not taking action. So one thing I would always say at the end is that make sure that that thing, there's definitely going to be, there's definitely going to be one thing that you've taken away from today's session. Ensure that that one thing, you implement it going forward. Don't try to overwhelm yourself. Do not try to overwhelm yourself, but just one step at a time, one thing to help you get better. Is it that you're going to start budgeting? Is it that you're going to start tracking your expenses? Is it that you're going to have like an account for what's the account for? An account for saving, or an account for investing, right? So you need to ensure that that one thing you feel like picking up, you pick it up and you work with it. If it does not work, you find out why it is not working and reiterate until it works. So I hope that, yeah, beautiful. I hope that is going to nudge you to actually do better. So, yeah, thank you so much for reminding me. I didn't even know who was speaking. I didn't check.
Thank you, ma. You're welcome, ma.
Okay, thank you so much, your personal finance girl, sorry. But Miss Oluchukwu, thank you so much. Please, let's say thank you to her. Okay, we've done that. I see it in the chat box. So my name, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Tomi. Yeah, thank you. You may leave. Thank you so much. My name is Tomi, with the brand name The Business Health Expert. When it comes to promoting your business using digital marketing services, Facebook ads, SEO, social media marketing, and the likes, I am your go-to person. Yes, you need to promote that your business, and you need to make best use of the online space. So I am your go-to person. When it comes to automating your processes in your business, I am your go-to person. And don't forget, we're still having another session tomorrow by 7:30 p.m. By 7:15, we meet by 7:15. Our speaker comes out by 7:30 p.m. So don't miss tomorrow's session. It's all about leadership and teaching you how to position yourself. You are not just as an entrepreneur, you are not just as boss, you're also a leader. You are impacting lives, and you need to position yourself as good leader. So join tomorrow. Don't miss out on tomorrow's zone. So thank you, and do have a wonderful night rest. So bye. Kindly unmute your mic. And oh, thank you. I can see that, Mr. Emeba. Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.